Hey, good morning, sports fans. All right, I am here. I am ready, and I got my buddy the Poxbringer with me. I'm gonna call him this guy Poxwalker for sure. Be aware, it's gonna happen at some. I know. I'm also might call him a bunch of other different names, but yeah. Um. Okay, so lots of options for these Nurgle guys. Here, lots of cool things that we can do. Um, the one cool way that we could do is like with like kind of skin tones, and that's very grotesque, and that's a very like unique style. That's an alternative. We could do a super bright green, but we did do a super bright green last week, so maybe we don't do that this week. And then we can do the good old grim dark, and then there's a bunch of ways to go at this with the grains and stuff. So I think we'll just well, we'll start with doing whatever, and we'll let the art flow through us. You know, see where the magic takes. And I think this specific magic is going to be Death Guard Green. It's going to be Iron Rack Skin, and it's also going to be brown situation. Doom Bull Brown. I think this is like a very Nurgly triad of colors. And I think we're going to do Seraphim Sepia as a shade on top of this. This is gonna be a whole vibe, as they say. So, well, let's try this out. I think that's a good as any. This is a smaller stream. It should be a smaller stream. I don't think this guy is like too long to paint, but we'll see. Maybe maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe there is a lot of complexity in this model. You've just not gotten to that part yet. All right, I got my trusty airbrush thingy. Also, I couldn't find a blank cardboard. I know bought them. I know there's somewhere. I just couldn't find a brand new cardboard. So we have to do with a little bit of turquoise on our stream today. Also, this new place where I got my cardboard, they put the freaking price tag anywhere on it, so you get like one loose, like one piece that's always like having a big ass old price tag on it. Not the end of the world. It's just insulting. Because when I put it in the corner, you can kind of sort of hide it, but you don't. Okay, so we'll give the Doom Bull. So Doom Bull is like a very reddish brown. I think it's going to be a fine color for all of this. Because the cool thing about Doom Bull is we can also use it as a shade. Like we'll do our base coat with this, but then we can thin it down and then kind of like use it as like shades and glazes with this. And that's one thing I've been doing, and I if you want to do like a whole army like this, I would go for Fur Brown from Army Painter because it comes in a shaker can. It's very similar. It's a little bit lighter, but it's very close. Also, see, my buddy Paul, Paul is like an insane paint. Like he paints like like insanely well. He's one of the most talented person I know. And he painted this great and clean one recently, and he did it with like shades of turquoise, which I thought was really cool. Not something that I usually go towards with Nurgle. But I thought it was really baller. Oh yeah, look. Oh yeah, look at that base coat. Eesh, this is brown. You know, like this is like baby poop brown, like the really earthy. This is good. Ain't just what you need around lunchtime. You know what I mean? Thank you guys for spending your lunchtime with me. Painting this disgusting fella. Right. Because this is, for all intents and purposes, this guy is just a big plague bearer. There's no, like, he's a plague bearer with extra gore, but really, he's just a plague bearer. There's no. He's not too different. He combines a whole lot of the things, right? Like, he has a little belt, like the musician. He has a bigger sword, like the champion. He has a Slanesh alien-looking tongue for some reason. No, nobody asked about that. Okay, so now what we're gonna. So I'm gonna rinse out the brown kind of entirely. I don't necessarily want any of that brown. And now we're gonna go for Dead Guard green here. I know he's not technically Dead Guard, but he kind of is. And we're just gonna add this in. Out of this. Two big drops, and then some thinner. And there's already a bunch in there, so we add too much, I don't think. This here is on the thicker side. It should be fine, though, I think. Perfect. So we're gonna go for like classic, like go from the top and leave a bunch of brown showing. And this gives us like a really like a really dead looking color, but also with the reddish of the brown, this is kind of like sets up the sores and everything that's going on in this mini. This guy like clearly does not have like a great like skincare routine, right? Like, you know. Oh yeah. So I really like this because now we get like this is a very like big contrast in terms of like gaming pieces. This makes like a very interesting mini because like already we have like a lot of this texture going on, and we barely did anything really. Perfect. So we did Buddy the Nurgling as well. Right. And then I guess we'll just add a little bit of this like skin thing to this mix, or do we just dump this? Let's just dump the leftover dead guards. Then we'll have like a, because this transition is pretty smooth. Like, Iron Rack is not that much like lighter than the Dead Guard green, so we don't, if we mix it too much, we're not even gonna make like we're not gonna have like that much of a difference, and so that would be what commonly called wasting our time, and we don't like to do. I mean, maybe you do, but I don't. So you do whatever. But the one of the beauty of the airbrush is you can do really steep gradient of color, so no reason to dilly-dally with this and then try to mix this. We have access to this tool here. Oh, also, this technique works really well for dry brush. I know a lot of people don't really have like don't have an airbrush or whatnot, but this is a very good like dry brush technique as well, because you just have to go heavy on the dry brush, but the brown is still like the key to this whole affair. Like, the only difference is like the it gives you like a very like similar vibe, but it's not going to be the same. So if you do some, like, let's say you start doing your army and then halfway through your army you buy an airbrush and then you switch like style, then you're gonna get something that's very different, and then that's where that's where I think it's a little bit off. Is like, because it's gonna give you a very similar look, but not the same look. So if you switch it up to, oh, I got an airbrush, now I'm gonna airbrush this whole thing, not gonna work. Not gonna be the same thing. So and we'll save this because this is kind of a mixy, mostly iron rack skin. Because this is not really like a highlight heavy type of thing. Whereas we don't have like really hedge highlights on this guy. That's one reason why Nurgle models are so easy. Is there's very little hedge highlight that you need to do on these big boys. But now we have like a very steep contrast, right? Like almost all brown and then very light on top. I like all of this. And I don't think we need the airbrush anymore for this piece. I think we just wanted to set ourselves up for success. And now that we are set up for success, so the more I'm looking at it, the less I like the idea of the Seraphim Sepia on this. I really like the color that we have right now, so I don't think I want to play with it too much. Maybe, you know, we'll reconsider at the end there. So I'll just do this really quickly. Airbrush. Well, technically, I'm gonna need it afterwards, so it's not the end of the... I see, technically, I realize I don't have a video lined up for tomorrow, so I need to do that today. Right, so we got our airbrushing steps done and out of the way. Then, I guess we could start with... We'll start with Rhinox hide. And we'll do all of the metallic parts, right? So all the stuff that should be metallic, they're not going to be metallic because this guy is hella grimdark. So we're not going to add too much. Like, there's going to be metallic tones on this model, but nothing's going to be really like silver or... And here, if we want to, we could use Typhus Corrosion as well. That would be an interesting... I think that's what we choose. So, I don't think we've used it on stream thus far. So let's do that. Let's use Typhus Corrosion. So Typhus Corrosion, I like this. This is one of the ones that I really like from the technical paint. The only thing with Typhus Corrosion is you need a brush that you are gonna throw away. Okay, you need like a beaten down brush. Because this will no matter what you do, this will destroy your brush. There's no... Like, it's not a you thing, it's a me thing. It's not a you thing, it's a Typhus Corrosion thing. Okay. Okay. Oh, the guy's empty. Oh no! All this time I was like, I have Typhus Corrosion now. No. Oh well. Okay. Well. Okay. Oh, hold on, please hold on. I must have some. Okay, so this is so I can't find any. And then the other product I wanted to use and showcase in this video, I also cannot find. So that's great. This is up on par with some other Hellfire streams of stuff going great. So we'll paint this in a very classic way. Then no, no fancy no funny business, no nothing fancy. Okay, let's just do this the old-fashioned way. Ain't no deal. I wanted to showcase some different little products, but apparently that's gonna be for another time. It's fine. I love painting Nurgle, so we can. This is just an excuse to do more. And we're not really using any of the brown, like the. So basically, the Doombolt brown we want to kind of limit to the Poxbringer like flesh color. We don't really want to use that tone on anything else. That will set it apart. However, one of our like strategies for painting this is we want to use brown on every color except like one or two. And one or two is going to be basically the stuff that's like glowy and like the blood effects, because that's like the intestines and whatnot. And even then, maybe the intestines we do want to. So let's say we do the horns in black. Well, we want our black, but we're going to highlight it with like browns and beiges so that everything has like some sort of the brown tone to it. That's going to keep everything a little bit dark, and it also plays with the like everything's going to be the palette's going to be very tight. Keeping a palette tight. I'm being very careful around like the skin areas because I don't know exactly what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. Like like this part here is like thorn flesh or whatever. So I don't know if I want to keep that with like the green tones, or I want to go with like a skin tone or a red or pink or something. That's for future us to figure out. This guy doesn't have too much metallics either. Okay. Well, all right now. And then I think maybe we do the hair on this fella in brown as well. The reason I want to do them brown is because I think the horns, I'm leaning towards black for these like horn thingies. Unclear if they're like horns or spikes or whatever they are. So. Alright, so, do we keep doing I think maybe we just focus on the metallic part just a little bit here. We'll take Scrog Brown and a little sponge. And that's why we're gonna do it now, is just because the sponge is kind of a messy technique. No matter how neat you try to be, it's still a messy technique. It's a little bit like dry brushing, where even if you apply yourself and you try to be very delicate with it, it's still messy. So you have to you have to plan kind of around this. So we're gonna do this. Um, and so the key here obviously is dodging these dodging the skin areas, right? We don't want to put any of this brown on the skin that we did because we're happy with. What you can do with this, if you really don't want to fuck it up, what is going on? What's going on with the camera? Yeah, if you don't want to fuck it up, is you do the bulk of it with like a sponge, but then when it comes to these parts that are kind of close to the skin, you switch to a brush, and then you just do a little dab action with your brush, and that's a lot more precise. You don't get the full effect, but since you kind of reserve this for only parts of the model or parts of the effect, nice little shortcut, you know. Um, this scrub brown is also like pretty. I'm this today's really pushing our limits of everything so far. There's 3 colors in this. 3, 4, 5. So far, I wanted to try 6 different things, and 3 of them fail. 7 different things, and 3 of them are like on the brink of not working. This is really one of those streams, eh? And we're just getting started. It's okay. It's all good. It's full of little challenges. You know? I'm trying to like dodge the horn as best as I can again because I'm still not sure exactly what I want out of this. Because I think this realistically, the way we've like started going at this is like we're gonna produce like a gaming piece. Like this would not be like any kind of like competition or display or whatever, because we have this like crazy highlight. This is a good technique because it makes models look good quickly, right? Like the brown to the grain transition is great for tabletop stuff because in no time you have like a deep contrast on your minis. And when it comes to like tabletop and that's kind of what you want. You want to be not necessarily done quickly, but you want to get like effective effects. Way to go, way to go. You want to get like effective techniques, like stuff that gets like good result in no time. Now we're gonna use lead belcher, and lead belcher is gonna be our second kind of it's not really like a highlight that we're doing on this rust color, but it Okay. Okay, so already, like we're really heading it towards the right direction here. I like this. So now, what do we do next here? Do we? I'm tempted to go for the horns just now because they're a very like big part of the mini, and there's like two different ones. There's like these ones, the big ones that are like kind of protruding from the guy, and but there's also this horn and the ones on the Nurgling that are slightly different. So I think the horns on the models, like the Nurgling and the guy, I think maybe we come back to our Doombull to just bring back some more brown, and then we highlight them with we shade that with black, or we glaze those with black. And then the ones in the back, I think those we do actually in black. That's gonna be a fine choice here. Let's if we don't like black, we just repaint it. Don't have to be too attached to the outcome. I have a lot of like nerd stuff to do today, and I know nerd stuff is kind of weird to say because I'm painting minis, so everything I do technically is nerd stuff. But like, I have to like figure out how how to like reset my eBay thing because these minis are great for eBay. That's like that's why I want to do these streams is to make miniatures and sell them. But then the tariff things is really weird, and it kind of like it affected like drastically how I worked the eBay thing or how I was doing my stuff. So I have to read into it and kind of figure out what I want to do. Because I don't think it's just the eBay thing. It's all sales. Like even if I were to make like a website on my own, like my own website, and then just add like a web card section or whatever, it would it still would not go the exact way that I wanted to. Okay, so this one so this is interesting. So that one here, the one that's the nerdling sitting on, is kind of like merged into the skin. So that technique that we just did, we cannot do exactly that on it. So we're gonna have to treat all of these horns the same. This one gets a pass because it's like it's really protruding from the inside, so it gets a pass. And then we can also do. I guess there's no real claws or whatever. Let's do the two hooves. Go. Right. Okay, so well, so we need a change of plans, but that's okay. That's kind of okay because I was already planning on doing this technique that I'm about to show you. So, then just one more place to do it, right? So we're gonna take back our Doombull Brown and we're gonna thin it down like kind of a lot, okay? Like to the point where it's like almost like dirty water. So once you have like I'll try to show you guys. This is a disgusting palette. So this is our Doombull Brown, and it's very like liquidy. You can see like super liquid. It pulls back. And when we do that, the other thing that's important is to wipe your brush down. So now I'm ready to paint. Okay, so I'm not gonna dip it back into the paint. It's still, this is the wiped down version. That ensures that we don't put too much paint on there. And that's really kind of the key to using like super thin down paint. Because you can see, even though it's like super thin down,
it's not like flying everywhere. Like it's not leaking or anything. It just stays pretty much where I put it only. And that's only because of this little step that I did at the very beginning of like pulling paint away from the brush. And so now we're gonna thin this down a little bit more. It was not good enough. And then again, I'm gonna remove a lot of the moisture from the brush. The reason I do this, so this is how you could go add this for like a full day really of just using this dirty water that barely covers anything, and you would get like a super silky smooth transition. We don't have all day. This is like a lunchtime stream, and I would like this mini to be done before I'm 80 years old. So you have to kind of pick your battles. Whereas this is it works. It works until you're done working it. What I mean, like if we want to do like 3 or 4 passes until we get like a paint color, that's fine. If we want to do 72 passes with super thin on paint and get the silkiest, smoothest blend, that's also fine. This technique, the epitome of you do you, boo. Okay, if you want to spend countless hours on this and make it flawless, you can do so. If you want to shortcut it, you can also do so. It's great. So what I'm interested in is having some sort of like a gradient where you can't really tell where the brown like starts, but you know for a fact that at the end of each of these like horns or whatever spikes, it is like brown for sure. You want to get to that point of like no matter where it starts exactly, you want at some point everything is brown. We can do this on Buddy the Nurgling as well. And right now it's very messy because again we really have brown and brown on the model and not much else in terms of like colors. So it's kind of okay that it's messy because that's not nowhere near the finished result. But interesting. You have to note that this is messy right now. You have to acknowledge. So next up, we'll do the exact same thing, but with black this time. So we're gonna use the contrast paint black, the Black Templar guy. Because these things, they don't tell you. They don't tell you when they sell you the contrast paint, but these things are like the best to do this effect. They're like it's like they're made for this because they're mostly transparent, and that's exactly what you're looking to do with this paint is get like transparent coats. So they're already kind of like made for you to exact same technique. We're thinning this down. Okay, we're not using this straight from the pot because the contrasts are very potent. So we're gonna do the exact same thing, but now we're starting on like some parts that's already like fully brown. We don't want to start from the bottom like we did with the. We want to start somewhere in the middle of the brown so that we get this kind of this gradient, right? This blend of colors. Dodge a little Nurgling. We want to dodge this metallic part that we did earlier. Go at it. We build this color up, and this is really what we're building it up. Like so, ever so. So if you try to get like one opaque black color in one pass, you're gonna fuck up this effect big time. You just have to build it up so it's ever so slowly, and you go one pass, one pass, one pass, and it's a little bit, again, it's a little bit tedious, and you can do this in 73 steps, or you can do this in like 5. We're gonna go closer to 5, maybe a little bit more, just because you can. Also doing the hair of this guy because. And already with just this black, the black is nowhere near like done, but already we're starting to get closer to what we want, and also we're getting a big difference now between all these surfaces, whereas it's a lot less messy. Like we're not at a stage where it's not messy at all. It's still a little bit all over the place, but we're getting there. You can see here it's really not super smooth. So we have to work on it a little more because that side is not great. So we want to dabble. That's the biggest like issue with this technique, and why it's kind of painful, is that when you don't do it properly, you fuck up like almost you fuck up like a big time with it, and it stops being like, as soon as it's not kind of like done not perfectly but close to perfect, it sucks big time. So it's a weird, like, it's a great technique, but sometimes it's a little bit frustrating. Yeah, that's what I mean. But this time, like, this is almost like, this is not, this is thinned down, but not a lot. And then now you can see exactly where the black starts, and that's kind of an issue for this approach. We'll try to fix it. There we go. And one thing I didn't do here now, we were kind of lucky that usually you need to wait for it to be fully dry before you try to fix any of this. You do it while it's kind of a sort of wet. It's usually you're gonna do more harm than good. This paint does not dry evenly; it dries in a ring shape. And when you try to fix it, the parts that are already dry is usually the rim of like surface you're doing, and so that part stays there, and you get like a little coffee stain looking thing. Okay, okay. I like this. Like, I like where this is heading. I don't want it too black on the little horns, but you do need some of the black on the smaller. Okay, but overall, I like this kind of amount, I guess, of black, because now this we can highlight properly, and now because now we have like some sort of like blended color. And then I'm gonna use like a smaller brush. This brush is sort of big for what I want to do. This guy. Oh, this is my Rosemary and Co. Zero. Why is there a... Look at that. I've used it twice. And it's... Oh, this is a bummer. Use this, but if I've used this twice, I'd be shocked. It's, I think it's sort of looking like it's back. Possibly. And the reason I wanted to use a smaller brush is because I don't want to touch up the... I don't want to have to touch up the skin. I'm being like... For a Nurgle Mini, I'm being very clean while painting it. Now we have, you know, the teeth are done in the same sort of black color. I like that. The reason I'm not doing any of these is because there's no detail whatsoever in this hand, like none whatsoever. So I'm not really tempted to paint it because nothing going on. Okay. All right, so that's a cool little demon guy. I like this cool little demon guy. Okay. Which brings us to, what do we want to do now? Well, I guess we should highlight this black here with some sort of I guess we'll just do a mix of this color and the black. So Steel Legion, an interesting beige thing. And I'm pretty sure there's like another darker, like Gorgot brown or something like that, which is like this color but a little bit darker. It's probably works for what I want to do. Because really the goal is just to put highlights on the thing that are with a tint of brown. That way we keep our kind of like monochromatic look on everything except the pink when we get to this pink part of like all the scabs and whatnot. Or red. I don't know exactly how. There's like again, there's a lot of ways that we can go for these like the wounds on this guy or the fleshy bits. I'm not exactly sure how we're gonna go for it, but we're gonna. Both of these colors benefit from what we're doing now, so it works in our favor. Oh, there's two little spikes in the back of his heels or something. Do those. Didn't notice these before. Right. So now I think there's a bunch of, so I think maybe we finished the little face, because then it's really, we have the red slash pink slash whatever color that we have to do, and then maybe some sort of like glowy thingy for like the the eye on the guy, and the the eyes on the Nurgling, because this guy, because I don't think, like, if this guy was a wizard, maybe we'd be tempted to do the little pointy finger thingy. But yeah, I don't think he is. As far as I recall, this is not a decision. Maybe in AOS he is, though. That could be a thing where the guys are like not the same in both games. Maybe he's a wizard in the Age of Sigmar, not a wizard in. That could be. So the idea with the skin is that we do want to like paint it and make sure it looks like it's actually in, but we don't want to make it anything like very interesting, because that's a very weird detail. It's also like the only thing that's this like flesh color on this mini, and it's not necessarily like a big point of like focus on our model, so we don't really. We don't need this to be like the main point of like, oh my god, did you see the voodoo doll that he's carrying, the voodoo head he's carrying? Oh my god, like this is not. We're going to make it. We're going to make sure it's like, you know, it's there, it's highlighted, it's painted, and everything. Hey, Hawks and Dust Cell. Yeah, he has the classic, like, you know, like in 40, like in the Age of Sigma, these guys are like, the wizards are all pointy, right? That's what I'm saying. This guy is definitely like on the wizardy looking side. Ugh. Yeah. I don't know. I guess he's just a freak, you know. He's just a freak, and he points at you because he's not mild mannered. And so I just put Kislev flesh, and I'm just gonna mix it with this Bugman's thingy, Bugman's glow and Kislev flesh, and we're just gonna go for that. Because the goal would be to get to something that's kind of as light as this green, maybe. And then that way, besides being a little bit more like orange, it's going to be pretty much just another detail. Because we could also, one other thing we could have done is do the exact same thing as the Poxwalker, but then add a shade on it. So it would have been like really, really green, but then we shade it just a different way. And in that way, it looks slightly different. Very low effort plan, to be honest. Which is why I like it. Oh, hey. I'm new to the hobby myself and jumped into 40k hunting down painting to learn from, so we'll continue to watch you use airbrushes. Yes, very much. I do. I talk about airbrushes a whole lot on this very channel. If you watch the non-live stuff, but the whole green thing was all airbrushed. The bulk of the color, like the brown and the skin tone, all airbrush. He's a king at airbrush for sure. Yeah, I use it a lot. I teach people how to use it. You know, it's the airbrush in my house has seen a lot of action. Put it that way. Parabellum joining us. Okay. Right. So now let's inspect this as best we can, because it's really in an odd place. First, I know this is lunchtime. Okay, I apologize for what I'm about to ask and show you guys. What do you get? Are we talking like larva or like what's the deal with this face? Right? Like there's like lines instead. Is it like snot? It's just wacky. Is it like ropes or something? Like some of them are like they're like sewn up or whatever. I don't know. Let's put a pin onto that whole situation. Also, it really does not matter. Like it does not matter what it like how the less attention we draw to that part, I think the happier I am. So let's just start on something else. Now I will. So I've fallen in love with Bracknar Burgundy. I don't know where this color was all my life, but this is a new thing. Okay, this is if I was Taylor Swift, I would write a whole album about this color. Let's put it that way. Um, I like it a lot, and so that's what I'm gonna use to start this whole blood and gore thing. So even though we're doing like a large like area, we're gonna be very careful with this. I don't wanna. Now is not the time to fuck up what we. There's also like this color and the gray this contrast like a whole. This is just a great looking color. That's why I'm leaning towards like just doing these whole thing pink. Now that with that my blood and gore uh thing that I wanted to do is out of the equation because I can't freaking find it. Going like traditional. This kind of goes like really we're just using like traditional paints and we're not doing anything like weird tricky product, which is what I was leaning into because these grimdark minis, there's like so many products to help you and make these more grimdark, more easily easierly. I'm gonna stick to easierly. I know it's wrong, but yeah, so there's a whole lot of like these fancy products you can use to not have to mix, not have to do like you really out of the bottle talent that they sell you. And but you can also do all of this with like just the good old paints. You don't need to buy the talent. It's in you. It's in you. Guys, and once it's just a place to watch how to paint Tyranids armor plates. I put contrast paint over, but I don't know what to do with it now. Well, we have a couple Tyranids on this channel. If you just type in Tyranid, the Carapace is definitely the hardest part. I would do something like the slap chop for Carapace. I think this would looks best. I think if you watch the on this channel, it's the iFleet Kraken video. There's two of them. It's the one that looks more red, the best one. Yeah, royal purple. Yeah, royal purple is a beast as well. But honestly, like purple is just a banging color. Like besides there's one Games Workshop one. What's it? Venetian purple. There's one Games Workshop that is like complete trash. The coolest looking one of the entire Citadel range is Phoenician purple. It's the best like tone because it looks a lot like royal purple. Is the best tone. It is complete trash. It's all like near unusable. It's so bad. It's very frustrating because it's literally the coolest looking color. Okay, so now this part here is uh, this part here. It's really where's the where the purple starts and where the skin starts and whatnot. So we could have blended this in. We could have used an airbrush if we have a little bit more planning ahead. We could have used an airbrush and just kind of blended these two colors in with each other. But I don't hate this. I don't think it's needed necessarily. Ew. Ew, I like it. Okay, I like where this is going. Then there's the same thing on the other side here. Now, okay, this is suitably disgusting. I like it. I'm on board with all of this. Okay. Oh, and then of course the little alien-looking thing. Oh, here we go. Okay. And but now that it's all painted, let me tell you, what would have been really smart. We should have just fucking contrasted this whole affair. My love for the Berknar Burgundy has blinded me to being efficient. Like I get the smarter it would have been to just we had a very good we had the whole shade base coat highlight already done for us. It was the perfect occasion to, oh my god, what a what a loser. And he calls himself a professional. Oh my god. Oh, that's a swing and a miss. That would have been like different. Let's let's just go for it. It's not wrong. It was a different way. That's right. Okay. So I'm gonna just take a little coffee break here. Not really a break. It's just this cup of coffee staring at me since the beginning of this thing. Okay. Right. Um. Okay. I guess we can proceed to highlight this burgundy. We'll do this with my beloved Screamer Pink. Screamer Pink is one of the weird color that gets like a whole lot of mileage in my paint studio in the shop here. Um, like I don't paint pink mini. Well, that's not true. I just painted 20 ghouls, so I take it. But I don't really like paint like a lot of like actually pink models, and I go through a fuck ton. A fuck ton. Screamer Pink. Screamer Pink is. So now so we're gonna do this in the most like anal way known to man, which is we're gonna like line this entire like process. We're gonna do all of these highlights with tiny little lines, because that's what like again I know it's lunchtime. I apologize. That's what like bowels kind of look like in the cartoony way. It's like a bunch of little like little lines. So that's what we're doing. Every highlight that we put on these is lines. This is very tedious. Nobody needs to go through this. I just think it's a nice little effect. Because we're highlighting the same thing, it's just the way we're applying this highlight adds like a different little texture. I mean, yeah, definitely. I don't know if I don't know if cleaner is the word when you look at this fucker, but yeah, definitely. It also breaks from the overall like shade, because if we added contrast on top of the green, because like contrast is transparent, we would have kept some of that green, and that's really what we want from this color here, is to be different, right? Contrast is relying heavily on the model's recess. Your way is a lot more attention to detail. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, because the detail's already done, though. That's the thing. This is very stupid. This way that we're doing now is insanely time consuming. It's not wrong, and it's gonna look great, because then we're gonna add like two, like maybe one or two or more highlights, because this is cool, and because really, if you think about it, this is the only color where we actually have to work. Like everything else was like very simple. Like we did not like stretch any muscle painting this guy. Like besides this one technique here, and maybe a little bit of what I showed you with the brown like blending thingy, um, brown to black to whatever. Really, there's not a whole lot of like hardcore techniques in this. So yeah, I think it's okay that we do this in the more, you know, not the dumbest way possible. Like if it was like an army or whatever, this would make like more sense to just like contrast the sun bitch down. This is a one of model, and it's also kind of a hero. It's not the most flamboyant guy. Let's be honest. Like in terms of like centerpiece model, because it's still just like a. I guess it's like a plague bearer lieutenant, for lack of a better. For lack of a better word, right? Like it's. I say all this because I play only 40k. Maybe in Age of Sigmar, this guy's actually like a real baller. I have no clue. The Age of Sigmar rules for him. Um, but yeah, no, exactly. It's a one guy, and it's also it's really the one time consuming step that we have to do. So yeah, I don't regret this. I'm just saying there was a way that was like much simpler to go at this. So if you don't want to, like, if you're not a maniac, if you're watching this and you're not a maniac, uh, yeah, contrast it down, because this light color and then this brown color, they're making this highlight for you, so you get the shade, you know, you get the shade to highlight pre-made on this mini, so it's there for you. You can just touch it up if you want to before before you go to town with this contrast thing, but you can also be a little bit of a maniac, because your Nurgle models deserve it. Demons need all of the love that they can get. Yeah. These are much harder to do than the intestines was like really easy when you think of these big plates here. Some brown oil wash would be a nice way to shade it, but look, yeah, the my issue with like the oil washes in the streams is that the oil washes takes forever to dry, and like we're not gonna do a watch paint dry stream, um, just yet. So like we could add oils, but it would have to be kind of the last thing that we do on the mini, and then like kind of you guys would not get to see, like, I guess the finished product, unless you have to stalk me on Instagram or whatever. And I don't even post really on Instagram. I post them on like stories, so you have to follow me each day. I'm the worst. I'm the worst at posting. So I post like stories, so they disappear. If you're not there that day, well, what was I doing? Nobody knows. I'm just not a big social media guy. For somebody that does YouTube thing, I'm not a big social media guy. Okay. Time consuming but worth every second. Really cool sofa. Thank you. Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm really happily surprised with this. It was really like this brown to green thing is really kind of a try. I did something similar on the Thousand Suns that I painted recently, and it worked kind of great. And I'm like, oh, let's see. So I'm kind of like trying a bunch of new combos for all of this. And this specific like kind of a I don't know if it's palette or whatever, but I'd seen Don Serratos paint something in not this specific technique because he doesn't do a lot of airbrush, at least not the ones I've seen of him. But he did something very similar to this in terms of color, and I was like, this is way cool. Right. So now the first step in the pink is done. Now, this is our color situation so far. So we like another. This is a little bit too aggressive. With this one, fuel. This is like, we'll use this, but just not like it needs. You need the missing like link, you know. There was a color called what this? No, this is purple. This is purple. We are committed to so maybe we do this, then we do this, and then we just shade it. So that way we shade it with like a red or a like thin down like pink, like volupus pink thin down, and then maybe this, because this is like kind of the right tone. This is the right like oh, I'm gonna fuck up this art term so bad. Like this is the right like strength of color. It's just not the right tone. Like this, we would need this, but in pink. Like there's a color called pink car, which I don't seem to have. So I think we're gonna go all artistic on you. We're just gonna mix. We're just gonna add some white to this. Okay. You know what? This is a paint stream. There's a color called pink ore. I suggest you use that one to highlight Screamer Pink. It is great. Now, where the fuck is that color in the mess that's right next to me? Nobody knows. So I probably just buy some more tonight. Like my paint system is super bad. Okay, the like my way I keep my paints and everything, it is very much like terrible, and I have so many duplicates of paints just because of like, oh, I can't find this one, that I need to rebuy it, and then I rebuy, and then I find it 3 days later and not the right box or whatever. This is definitely something I need to like upgrade or change eventually. Like I'm not gonna go broke on like paint pots, but it's just like I have so many grog searchade guys. Like you got, I financed like a whole lot of the warehouse at Games Workshop with the amount of a grog searchade that I have lying around. The good news is I use a lot of the same colors a lot of the time. Like I like the stuff I like a lot, and then because of the way I paint, a lot of my clients ask for stuff that I usually do. You know, like smaller brush for this. That's the cool thing about like commission painting. A lot of the time, people see one thing that you done, and they're like, "Hey, can you do something similar?" So you end up using kind of the same colors a lot. And so once I find stuff that works, I tend to reuse it. So buying too much paint is not that big a deal, because it's rare to have like a color that's like, this is a one-of color, I'm never gonna use that one again. And this is very interesting because this is looking like cool. I like this, but it's also, this is very cartoony, whereas this is very like grim dark. So I like this. Is it dichotomy? Is that what dichotomy means? The kind of like the contrast in like styles, and I like it because I wanted the goal was for this pink to pop anyway, but now I like this, man. This is a cool fucking mini. Oh, and this, so there's like there's a teeth on the This is wild. Like there's like claws or whatever. This is a very cool little bits. I've never seen this before. I think I've never like actually glued this bits on mine because I've had like multiple poxwalkers across the. I don't think I've ever seen this. Maybe it's from a different. This is way cool. This is gnarly, man. I have a bunch more demons. Maybe we do a Beast of Nurgle. So I have a Beast of Nurgle behind me somewhere that I want to do for maybe a little army or something. I like the I too like the demons like a lot. And also they're very varied. Like this guy is really like you paint this guy and then you paint like the equivalent in like blood letter fashion. I don't know what's he called. Like a skull something probably or a blood something. Just guessing, but I can't be too far off. If there's not like blood or skull in the name of this guy for corn, like I will give away any. Uh, um. Okay. Oh, this is. Okay. I'm gonna at some point I'm gonna come back to reality here. Yeah, I'm just pretty stoked about this result because that's not like what I set out and what I thought like, oh, this is gonna be this kind of mini. This is not what I'm looking at right now. Like I really like this surpasses what I thought we would produce today. So yay us, good job, chat. You guys did it. This one here, this is weird because this hand is like in a recess sort of thing. Like it's inside the mini, but you do need the shape to highlight it like correctly. Otherwise, all the detail is like lost. Weird situation. And then I guess we'll just abandon the Fulgrim because this is if this was an army, I would not abandon this color. I would go back to it. But since this is a one-off mini that I don't think will like, he's not gonna have friends for me. We're just gonna use more white into this Screamer Pink, and we're just blend this color ourselves. I don't really like this approach, but out of simplicity. Oh yeah, Skull Taker makes. Is that the special character? There's also a special guy. Oh yeah, but oh yeah, Skull Taker makes. Oh yeah, I believe you. Uh, it's Skull or Blood for sure. Uh, and now adding this white and this very light color and just like little dots is gonna give like a little bit of a wetness effect to this to these guts. A weird sentence to say out loud. To be honest, but that's okay. So what we really don't want to add too much of this because really we're just adding like little dots here and there because if we add too much of this, it's gonna fuck up. Like we're not even doing every aspect. We're doing a couple. Man, the more I look at it, the more I think maybe the purple was not such a stupid idea. The cacophony thing that I said, oh, this is too purple, not pink. This color that was like the middle link, it's not because we started on burgundy, not on pink. So there is some purple vibe to this, right? I mean, it's hard to when you look at it, you kind of see it outright. Like there is some purple. It would not have been like such a bad choice, I don't think. In hindsight, it would not have been such a terrible idea. So I think, and then again, we're gonna add the H's to this. Sorry, guys. The H's are like wild today. Every word I tried to say, I had like 6 or 7 H's to them, just so it sounds hardcore on the microphone. Yeah, I want to add some sort of like shading. So the bunch of options are here. Since we have like good audience participation today, I'm gonna lean back on the chat as I usually do. We could go for black. Black is interesting because it's gonna kind of tone down a little bit of that pink, and it's gonna add like a lot of depth to these like the creases in between, like almost like a black line. It's gonna be basically be a black lining, like a cheater's black lining. Purple also very interesting because again, it's kind of the missing link. And then we could also do pink, which is like a darker pink. Dr. Onishi's, may I ask how much the model holder costs? This thing is like Canadian dollars. I think it's 11 or 12 or something like that. In that range. I got 2 of them. I don't know if I've talked about this ever, but I only use these for the stream. I don't, in like when I paint on like in my like spare time, I guess, or in my day job actually right now. I don't use the holders. It's really for streaming purposes because it's easier if like it's like when I'm like if you're holding minis, you have like the fingers all, you know, like through I like the holder, but I like them, but I don't think it's mandatory. I don't use them otherwise really, but I like having them. But and there's a bunch of these are the Games Workshop. Is there a brand on this? These are the Games Workshop one, but there's a bunch of different companies you can. They all have like their own like proprietary like system. Okay, yeah. So okay, chat. Your input is required here, so we can do pink, purple, or black for the. Well, I'm sure there's like a million we can do, but these are the 3 I'm debating. Pink, purple, or black in terms of shading. I will abide by whatever the chat says in this color trio. Yes. And while chat tells me what we do next, I will start. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. I'll do like just a base coat on this. Well, this base actually, which we also have a lot of options for the bases. And this one. Oh. I want to do a base coat now because I'm going to use like thin down paint for the base to get like a good coat going. And I want this to be dry when I get to actually kind of finishing this base because we're going to dry brush it. And as you can guess, if we dry brush, this needs dry. It says so. It says so on the brochure. So, I think gray would have also been a fine choice. Probably black, a dirty look would suit them all. I think. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, so far, rating option so far. I like where your head's at. Also, I'm a sucker for black lining, and so like anything that gets me remotely in that area. I don't shy away from it, let's put it that way. Find every excuse in the book. Do some quick black lining on my mini. Yeah, so I think gray would have been the second best choice here. I think this definitely. Well, I think gray, like a lighter gray, and this is equally interesting. I like brown because it fits with the whole. We're using brown on everything except the freaking pink. Strategy that we're using or technique or what call that what you. it ties, the brown does tie in, and then I think my other like the other way I was thinking is maybe we do this with the same brown base coat that we have going on the like the similar to the undercoat, like the fur brown type thing. What's it called in the Games Workshop range? Fur brown. The Doom Bowl, that's the one. That would also be like kind of an interesting way to go at this. I would paint the Nurgling on shoulder a similar color to your brush in a more earthy tone. Oh, really? You do the Nurgling a different interest? Okay, that's interesting. I tend to not like. I don't want to do too much on the Nurgling because I don't want to draw too much attention to it. That's the way I was thinking about this is he's just like kind of part of the mini and he's already like on top. So I didn't want to fuck with it too much. You'd think, oh, you'd go for a different, because I'm not against it at all. I think I don't hate this idea. Interesting. Okay, so we'll finish the you know, the thing, the thing with the other thing, the purple. Thank you, burgundy, pink, whatever. There was too much color to choose from. We'll finish this, and then I don't hate the idea of this is I don't we'll fuck with that Nurgling a little bit. Also, Dr. Onishi, if you're gonna suggest that we paint the Nurgling, we have to give him a name. Because this obviously the Nurgling is obviously the main character of this mini. Nurgle is so easy to paint since even if you do a bad job and it looks ugly, it's kind of the point. Well, I mean, I guess we know your appreciation of my painting, bud. Thank you. Hey guys, even if we sucked, it's okay. So yeah, that's perfect. That's great. This is sensational, right? Okay, so we'll use Null Oil first. And then, if it's not, because Null Oil is like not so potent anymore. They changed the thing. Salicious Grump. Okay, Salicious. We can call him Sal. It's Sal the Nurgling. Okay, sold. You say the proper. I'm just gonna call him Sal the Nurgling, but we know the real ones know. I'm talking about my. Oh, okay. Oh, I think. Okay. Oh, my bad. Okay. But yeah. Nurgle is very forgiving, but it's also like it's very beginner friendly because I said earlier, the one like peculiarity of the Nurgle thing is that there's very few edges, so you rarely have to actually do like highlights on these minis. And it doesn't look like a big deal, but it is for like beginners and newer painters or people that don't give a shit. Because highlighting is something that you do need like a lot of like brush control. Even like the most basic highlighting requires brush control, and that is like a hard part of painting. So when you're starting out having to do like hedges on like fucking Space Marines, it is hard. That's why like that's one of the reasons why like beginner Space Marines look like so atrocious is because a Space Marine is not the easiest thing to do cleanly. And you can compare this in like a lot of the box, like when there was the Orc box, like the Space Marines versus Orc, like that's an older box, like I think sixth edition, maybe fifth. It's like a real old edition, but the newer painters would do the Orcs first and get much better result than the Space Marine just because of that. Orcs are complex in their own right, but they're much easier to do than like cleanly doing Space Marines. Whereas with Nurgle, the cleanliness, as our buddy here pointed out, Cien pointed out, very easy. I'm great at tiny detail, but shit larger areas for some reason. Yeah, but that's dude. That is a lot of large areas are like a lot harder because they're hard to get a smooth coat on a large area. But contrast, yeah, contrast is great. We've used one, two. So far, we've used 2 contrast, and we're leaning towards a third one sooner rather than later. Okay, so black was definitely a good choice. By I don't recall who, Dustcell I think said we should do black. Black definitely a good choice here. It's definitely like I was leaning towards purple, but I like black now that we've done the black thing. So that's solid option right there. All right. So before we go any further, let's look. This is a community thing. Okay, we stream. If I wanted to paint this on my own, I would do this with no camera. This is a community thing, and Dr. Onishi suggested that we paint Salad and Nurgling with a little more of a hurdy orangey tone. So we're gonna do that. Because I think it's gonna look nice. If I thought it sucked, I would tell you I think it sucks, and we're not doing that. I don't think this will. I think it's gonna be different than what we have for sure, but I don't think it will suck. So we will use. We'll use Rayclon Flesh Shade, but we will thin this down, and we'll also do like a very light coat. We don't want to do like the full shade situation. But this is gonna give us like an orange tone without being like actually fucking like orange, you know, like construction orange or safety orange. And the reason we're thinning down is because this color is so light already. Like we can do this, and now right now, you know, the mix I got is too thin. Okay, like there's barely any color, not quite interesting. So we're just gonna add some more. No rule against that. But if there is, we're gonna break it, because we are rebels. Here's following instructions. No. But I do want to finish. So even though it's wrong because it's too light, I want to finish so that it's all the same, like very light little color. Actually, I kind of like this. What is that? I kind of like what it does, so I'm gonna just put on the entire thing with this, the 2 light thing, and then the Nurgling is gonna just get some more, so he's gonna look like a tan Nurgling, like a Jersey Shore Nurgling, which I guess Sal is an appropriate name for a Jersey Shore going. Thing. Because I like it because it doesn't add like too much. It does. I didn't want the shade. The reason I didn't shade it earlier is because I didn't want the shade to take over the green of my mini. But now that this is like super thin down, I kind of like where this is going. It's also going to accentuate some of these details that are really maybe too light. Like all this, like the like protruding like spine, which just looking at it, my back hurts. The protruding like spine and everything is just digging a little bit more into those details. And we've put literally 0 effort in, and somehow they all show up. So that's a great thing. You know? I've had like a spirited debate in the past with somebody about like the fact that effort does not dictate the result, and this was like one of the few like I've had this conversation like probably close to 10 years ago. I still remember it because it was one of the most like one of the weirder things of like you're missing the point of a conversation so much. Like somebody was like trying to explain that his was better because it required more effort, and it was a travesty that did not win because he put much more effort into something. I was like, well, you know, It's not how that works. Uh, for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. Games Workshop charges a lot, but like the quality is there. Like I painted what did I paint this week? It was like a Games Workshop, but it's like one of those like fine cast like garbage, and I painted it and I was like, this is like like the pieces are not like lined up, and there's like kind of like not holes, but the texture on the mini is like wacky. And I was like, you know what? Like I'm glad, like I'm not glad that they're overpriced, but I'm glad that they moved away from this and they keep doing because this was like a painful experience to paint. And I'm glad I don't have to do this. Like I did War Machine pieces are like very much the same. Where you look at these, the War Machine, like they used to be interesting like looking, but the kits were so bad, it was like so frustrating. Obviously I'm not glad that they're pricey, but I get it because the quality is so okay. So now Sal the Nerd, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, but Gundam, if you want to talk about pricey, Gundam kits are like woohoo. Okay, so now Sal the Nurgling is so that's kind of what I So that's what I did not like, not did not want to get into, but that's what I don't necessarily like is that when you look at the mini right now, the first thing you see is the Nurgling. And that's I find that a little bit unfortunate. But that being said, that color is way better than what we got going on, so I think we're just gonna go for it. Are the gun? I thought because I thought it was pretty universal, like the big Gundam, like because it's the Gundam kits, they work by like tiers or something, like probably in the tiers is probably not the right word, but grade is the right word. They work by grade, and I thought like the high grade were like very expensive for this kind of the same injection plastic basically when you think about it. Okay, so the good news is that this made our model look better. The bad news is that what we wanted to achieve with the Nurgling, in my mind, does not work. So we have to change a little bit of what we're doing to accommodate this. So you win some, you lose some. Um, yeah, but this color is significantly better though. With the like, it's more, it's a little bit more grimdark. Um, it feels a little bit more grimdark, but it's also like more box art a little bit. Like this is a much more like Nurgle, classic Nurgle color than what we had going on, which was like very like not Games Workshop looking. Like the color we had previously was like very not like the Games Workshop thing of like very muted colors. Games Workshop doesn't do really muted colors in any like not their style at all. So we'll end up with like a very cool mini, but it's significantly different than what we started with. But I like where we're going. So it's worth it. Bam. Now and we need to make sure that every like grain surface is properly like shaded, because otherwise it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb here. It's not gonna have a different like. But okay, so this is very. However, now the base color that we have does not seem to fit at all with this whole. So I think maybe now we switch back to this base should be black, because This is too similar, so this did not work that much. So okay, that's okay. No worries. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look. Into another dimension. The fuck? It's gone. I think my downstairs neighbors must have it. What the fuck? Well, we're not using that brush anymore. Okay, so this is, oh, and then of course the one thing I didn't do is the eyes, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to add a different color to this, because if I thought my thinking was if we add like some glowy stuff, because I wasn't sure if it was a wizard that did the beginning. If we had a glowy thing, it would be a different color, and then we could do the eyes in that different color. But I think we're just gonna stick with our very limited palette. I like it. Oh, dude, definitely another. This is gone, man. It must be under the desk. Okay, so the eyes, we're gonna do the easiest like trick. So we're gonna pull our Ragnar Burgundy, so that's our darkest color, and we're gonna thin it down like a good amount. And because it's thinned down, it's gonna fill up this little like eye cavity really quickly. This doesn't work on everything, but because this guy's a demon, we get to cheat a little bit. And because we were allowed to cheat, we're gonna take this apart. Need to go. Kids are back in Japan. Some Gundam kits are cheaper than really. That's wild. That is actually wild. That's cool. All right. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by, dude. Sharing your Gundam awfully. All right. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go like for white, and we just like some sort of like burgundy left over in there, like a just to say it's not like straight up white that we're doing. And then we're just gonna touch up these eyes here. And well, so now we have like eyes that are like two colors. Focus on Sal the Nurgling. There we go. So, you know, nothing grand, but it works. It does the work. Yeah. So the sand color base, I don't no longer cuts it for us because we changed the tint of the mini. It won't work. So we're gonna go for black here. We have to do. Well, we're gonna go for black, and then we're gonna make it gray. Actually, is what we're. But we need to. We're gonna start on black. Also, I got some people here. I want to do so we reached like 1,000 subscribers on the channel like recently, and now I didn't want to do it at like exactly 1,000 because I figured I would do my 1,000 celebration stream or whatever, name pending. And then at 1,000, then one guy would unsubscribe just to be an asshole, and then I would have like 999 people. But now we've hit like a little. I think we're at like 1,000 like 10 or something. So it would take like a lot of people being douches and unsubscribing during the stream, which I kind of hope is not the. It feels more like a Twitch thing. This whole be an asshole and unsubscribe thing than a YouTube thing, but you know, maybe. But anyway, this is neither here nor there. The point is, I bought a Magnus to paint for to do a one like just like we're doing now, but on another, not a lunchtime thing, but we have to schedule that soon enough. I don't know when to do this. So I'm thinking I'm thinking like it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday because there's no. I don't think there's a better day for any of this. But I'm open to like suggestions of these things. If it should be like a day, should be like a night, or because I have no fucking clue how long like a Magnus takes on the stream. Like it's not a small piece, right? So definitely not like a night, because a night the problem is I at some point I have to use my airbrush, and I don't really want to use my compressor like 2 a.m. or whatever. So yeah, so that's like coming up soon. I don't know when. I'm gonna try to like broadcast it way before. The internet is like Mos Eisley space. That is a terrifying prospect, my guy. That is not reassuring at all. Okay, this piece is fucking cool. My plan was to sell this, but now maybe I keep it because this guy is a boss. And just putting the base in black is making quite a difference to it. Like because the brown was obviously wrong. Once we changed the color of the mini, the brown was like it was obvious the brown was wrong. But now this is starting to be something sexy. Right. Which brings us to oh fuck, we've hit the stage of watching paint dry. No. Right. What should we do next week, guys? I'm gonna line up. So this is for next third. So the Magnus thing is, at some point, okay. But for what am I trying to say here? Oh yeah, oh yeah, he's unhealthy for sure. This guy unhealthy. I'm not the healthiest of person. This guy definitely unhealthy. Yeah, let's see. Please hold. Be right back. Okay, so I've returned. So yeah, next week we could do one of these guys, and then there's a couple more, but these are some of the one I have. So there's a chaplain that I have here. This guy's in Iron Hand, so it's like a black chaplain, a black chapter. So that one's could be interesting. We could do. Well, we did an Azrael last week, so maybe not Azrael, but I have so many. We could do this Nurgly guy. Oh, jeez, what is wrong? There we go. This Nurgly guy, which we would paint in a different scheme than this. That way, it would be something completely different. We could do this Master of Execution, maybe a World Leader, maybe not. It feels like he's only playing a World Leader, so. And then we could also do a Mephiston or a Dante. I think we already did a Dante on the stream, so maybe a Mephiston. So I'm leaning towards like either this guy, or a Mephiston for next Thursday. I think those are interesting options. But Mephiston is not gonna be red; it's gonna be bright green because it's for some stuff. So these are what I'm leaning towards, and then maybe I audible and I paint something completely different. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so these are the kind of the options or the ones I have right now lying around. Maybe there's some other things I'm not thinking of. Trying to think of like. I think I have like an Astorat the Grim. That's kind of that's a mix of all these things. Although the chaplain, okay, well the chaplain has one vote thus far, and that's mighty fine. Damn it, this contrast paint never fucking dries. Terrible. It's just terrible. We can use this now. Do we want to add stuff to this? I kind of don't want to fuck with it too much. I really like what it was, so I don't want to add or change or stuff. Let's use a crew. Well, it has to be a mini that I had like I have. That's the because like I'm not making any money off of these streams, so I have to find these minis for cheap. You know, like somewhere. And with the current like tariff situation, I have to rework my eBay thing because the tariffs in the eBay are a weird fucking place right now. So right now, like these streams are like a lost leader in the Hellfire business etiquette, but I like doing them, so we're keeping the lost leader. But I can't I can't like just buy anything that I want just yet. Just yet. You know. But it definitely like Kroots are like super fun to paint. Like if I get one. If I get one, we're painting. Like I'll paint like anything. Because right now the problem is I have like fucking Space Marines everywhere. This guy is like great because he's a non-Space Marine guy. So I have to look for these things. Whoa, whoa. Okay. So now this at home, you should not be doing this. Okay. This is not dry, but I am tired of waiting for paint to dry. Okay, it sucks. So okay. And we're gonna kind of like cheat this a little bit in because this is not really gonna be like a light dry. It's gonna be like a pretty heavy dry brush. And so the fact that some paint might, you know, we might have some mix up between our gray and our black, it won't matter too much. We're gonna just cheat this in because I'm waiting for paint to dry. Sucks. Oh, I think. Oh, okay. So I didn't. Aha! I didn't see it. So we're gonna have some touching up to. I didn't like kind of get it when we were doing it, but the like the entrails kind of like flip backwards on the base. So I think we're gonna have to repaint. Like they're kind of hard to see because they're like blended in the. It's a little bit weird the way that they're like sculpted on there. But since our purple thing is kind of a neat process, I think we're gonna finish the base and then fix the guts. That being said, it will give us an excuse to wait for this thing. Yeah, okay. So let's fix it now, just because otherwise we have to. Because otherwise we have to wait for the paint to dry some more. So this kill two birds with one stone. Oh, also there's some black. The teeth are not like I just remembered that there were like teeth on the tongue. Like, this is a wild thing. The alien looking tongue has like some teeth on it, so we have to redo those. So we're gonna just base coat this with our Baraknar Burgundy. I don't want to stipple on them because that's not how we did the rest of the thing, right? We want to keep kind of this uniform because even though they're sculpted kind of poorly, we want this to be easily recognizable. So we have to do the contra. We want the paint to like rise up because like we couldn't tell what they were, but we don't want like viewers of this mini to not be able to tell what these things are on the bases. We need to kind of simplify it for them. If we just paint some random nondescript purple thing on the base, it's not helping us or them. So that's that. We'll give that a second. Then I'll take my. I'm being very messy now, guys. Not messy, but chaotic. Well, 2 miles per stream is also possibility. I like these ones. Because honestly, if I picked black at first in the colors, we would not have to wait because I did it earlier. It's because we changed when we changed the skin tone, then the appropriate base color also changed, and that kind of put a wrench in our wheels. Because it's pretty like this is the first time that we have to wait for paint to dry, and in this entire with like 2 hour thing. So it's really not. It's not like a major issue. Usually we're able to avoid it. This time it didn't work out in our favor, but usually. Next up, we are gonna do random Todd gets some 6mm epic scale demon head into the base. Like he's a puppeteer. He has the puppeteer hand. So yeah, it checks out. Okay. So this is Celestra Gray. This time we're gonna be diligent with our dry brushing. Bam, bam. Okay now. Okay. And so the base, I don't think needs to be like a super intricate thing. I think we just want a base to showcase what's on it. We don't necessarily need this to be like anything grandiose. So that's gonna be fine. I just smoke weed all day and offer loads of advice, ideas while not completing anything myself. Hey, I mean that's one way to live your life, But yeah. I mean, ideas are great. It's just sometimes you have to not take all of them. You know what I mean? Can't say yes to all of this stuff. Okay, so let's highlight this. So we're gonna just repeat the process of highlighting this same way we did on the front, basically. And then some white to this thing, re-highlight. Going quickly here because I can feel the end is near for us. Completed this mini. Yes. And then more white for little dots. Again, not too much with the almost white situation. Okay. And then, so we have two things, three things left in this, this whole affair. The first one is to find the null oil and apply this to the little piece that we just did. Little trails of guts, and I'm using this as kind of a cheater's black lining, whereas I'm not that interested in like the overall thing. I'm really just interested in having like some really a black definition between the purple and the gray from the base, or in the case of the ones that are like overlapping, a black line between the one on top and the one on the bottom. Yeah, so this guy is really cool thing. I like where this is heading. So we need one more non-painting related thing. That is to add some tufts of grass, which I think brown 4mm is amp here. Very dark. Oh, what's that one? Looks very similar. Choose that one. We're going to use the mystery meat and an emergency stream hair. I like. Oh man, this is baller. I need the the tactical hair dryer by Hellfire Hobbies. This is a great product. I should make this. I'll sell a million. Yeah, so we're gonna do the mystery meat tufts of grass. I have no fucking clue where these ones are from. I mean, these are gamer's grass for sure. I just don't know the appropriate like thing. And then maybe one in the back here, just a smaller one, maybe. Boop. We have two little tufts of grass. We could dry brush them if we desired. I don't think it's really necessary. It adds depth to them, but I like them because they're dark, so I don't really want to. We could shade them, maybe. We could also not fuck with them because we're happy with this. And then, of course, which you guys deserve and want, I know, you know it, you guessed it, the black rim job. Everybody needs a black rim job to go on about their day. And you're about to get it. So, yeah, let's do that. No? And this is the, again, the stupidest little step. But this is what's gonna make them, well, like some of the most difference in the entire like result. Like a clean black edge on this bit. So, and we're just gonna prop it up on the little stand again, just to give you a better view. Completed mini, because now it is completed and ready to go in some sort of like Tupperware, where it will not see the sun for many moons. Odd phrase, but I like it. Yeah, so this is our guy here. Yeah, exactly. You heard it here first. Well, you probably heard it here somewhere else first, but don't Google that, kids. So yeah, I'm very stoked with this little leg hero, Poxbringer. Is it Poxwalker? No, Poxwalker is a different Poxbringer. That guy. Pretty happy with this. Really came out pretty great. I like everything about this miniature. So tune in next Thursday. I don't know which one we're doing yet, but most either a Xenos thing or a good old-fashioned Space Marine. That's for sure. Thanks for the support. Check out other videos, and you know if you haven't already, I guess consider subscribing to this channel and liking this this stream thing. It helps reach the people and then we get more degenerates in chat to suggest crazy things to do with this mini. So that would be great. Yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next Thursday, and there should be a video dropping tomorrow as well. No idea what it is because I haven't edited it yet. So yeah, check out mystery video come out tomorrow. Please, yeah, subscribe, like all the good stuff. You guys know the drill. I'm terrible at this. I'm gonna go and enjoy my day. I hope you enjoy your day. And until next time, no excuses. Hobby like champions.